I was helping my sister. They're building a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
They own like 50 acres, and she's like, I need help finishing my bathroom up there because we want to go camping, but gotta have a bathroom. So
Okay, so
I went up
they're
there.
camping on just some acreage in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere or something.
Yeah, they have
Okay.
like their house, and then they have 50 acres in the woods, and
Mm.
they go there to camp, but they're just like, man, we hate not having a bathroom. So they built a shower and a toilet in like a bit in like a room, and we got all the plumbing done. And I froze to death last night.
Froze to death.
Actual death. I'm not alive.
Eventually, you'll just build a house out there and still call it camping.
It's called a cabin. That's what Nate had.
That's the only kind of camping I'm signing up for.
The camping where I go from one comfy house to another comfy house and still don't
Mm-hmm.
go outside.
Yep. I still have internet and lighting and heating but it's in a very unpopulated wooded area. So
If anything, that
or
kind
a
of
less
camping's better
populated wooded area.
because
What
then
was
there's
that?
less people to talk to.
Yeah.
You don't have to interact. Your neighbors are never there hardly because they only come up every once in a while. Like, that's the best place.
Just their giant dogs that look like a wolf.
Oh, I
They'll
love
come
that.
and say hi.
That was great. Those are adorable dogs.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. I was like, what in tarnation is that? Oh, it's a cute fluffy dog. I told you we got another dog, right?
Yep. Seen it.
Got a Cane Corso, and Mia's working real hard on training him. She's doing a good job. She is teaching him leave it, which is like if they want something, but you don't want them to. You want them to leave it alone, and you give them something else, and eventually that just teaches them, like, if you say leave it, then they just leave it alone. So at first you start with treats, of course. Lots of treats.
How are Bear and Gunther doing with it?
Bear's annoyed by him most of the time, but he's annoyed by everything. He's
old.
He wants attention, but he is annoyed by everything around him. And Gunther will play with him, but he's old, so it's hard for him to keep up, and he eventually just kind of like lays there and gets chewed on. So no, he's good with the kids, and of course he's doing really well with Mia. I have to think back because I'm like, oh man, stop doing those puppy things, like chewing up things. It's mostly like chewing and barking, but he really doesn't bark much. And if I look back when our Goldens were puppies, like Gunther chewed up our carpet. So I was like, and he hasn't even tried to do anything like that. So I'm like, he's actually doing a pretty good job.
Good.
He sticks to like plastic toys, so you don't really want him to eat those, but they're it's not the worst thing in the world. So yeah.
Oh, good. I will say this, kind of move into the anime topic genre. When I make my usually once an episode offenses against Code Geass, last time I said, I've only seen 160 animes, so maybe I don't have a good opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that kind of bothered me because, like, well, how many animes have I seen? So I counted them all. I went through arduously. So I was close.
You're very close.
So I feel pretty good about that. It took us a while. Sarah and I sat down and we tore through our minds, and I'm sure we're missing some. So maybe it's more like 170, 175, but I'm like, wow, once I hit that 200 mark, I'll be accepted.
You'll be accepted into the guild of super nerds.
Super nerds.
I think in a lot of ways you're more nerdy than me because you're definitely well versed in Dungeons and Dragons, and you're really good at being the DM.
Oh,
There's
thanks.
that
I
like
mean, it's kind of funny you say that as you have, you know, a 2 foot tall Lilith statue behind you looming over.
you're such a nerd with this obviously, IT wear on, doing IT things, and I have statues behind me. Can't tell what the poster is like to my right, but it is a Rimuru. So
Oh, nice. Rimuru.
yep.
I need to put some posters up. I have several that are just rolled up right now because I'm trying to figure out the space behind me. I still have the shelf sitting here. I got to figure it out. I need you to come visit and help me organize. My miscellaneous figure shelf is getting way too busy.
It's very miscellaneous right now.
Yeah, it's like, wow, if all these people were in an anime, it would be a real crazy
crossovers.
Anime. So we'll see. One day,
yeah,
I'll work on it.
I have another statue coming that I'm going to be adding to the collection. I finally got the notification that my Ichigo figure is coming.
Nice.
So that's exciting. It's the Blood War arc version.
Nice.
Need to reassure Mia that I purchased this like literally a year ago, and it's gonna end up coming. It's gonna be here around Mother's Day or something. She's gonna be like, "Why are you buying this? It's almost Mother's Day."
Happy Mother's Day, babe. It's Ichigo, your favorite. I'll hold on to it for you.
This is what you asked for, correct? He certainly is not. Uh-oh. They have a Dark Magician girl that's a 1/7 statue. I want it. Oh no. It's happening, Daniel.
I thought of you on the auction site I go on a lot. They had it was like a 8x10 Dark Magician girl area rug, and it was her original card.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I should get this to Jonathan. Cool. If shipping a rug or getting that as a carry-on would work, I'd probably have bought that for you.
That'd be sick.
Massive.
And I would love that. Which reminds me of the other thing you got me, which has been like, I've never gotten more compliments in my life just by having a card that has a Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Cover on it. So it just looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, that one you got me.
Yeah.
Just every time I check out, they're like, "Oh, this is so cool! It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card." It's like, and they always ask how I got it and how much it was, and they're always surprised that I just gave them a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card or whatever. Even if they don't know what it is, they're like, "What did you just give me?" I asked for money. Is this money?
Well, when October rolls around, I'm going to get a few more, swap them out. And it'll be fun. Because, I mean, my new cards are coming in the mail anyway. So I'm like, I need to get new ones.
Your new cards?
Like, I order new credit cards, and debit cards and stuff. Just mix it up. But, no, that's awesome. I'll have to name drop the lady's business. She prints everything and anything into a card cover. And they work pretty well. So I'll have to name drop her next time once I get her information.
It's right here.
Oh, there it is. Nice. Mary's Crafty.
You're welcome. Corner. And thank you.
I met her in
Mary's
Las Vegas. Corner. And she had a booth there. And her booth was wildly popular. If you think about it, she was only charging it was like $6, which at a con is an amazing price. And
yeah, I know. That's
even she didn't upcharge me. She didn't upcharge me at all. When you said, "Hey, I want this is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card," I showed her the picture. She went home that night. The next day, she brought one for me. She didn't upcharge me for making it custom. Really cool lady.
Wow. Great service.
So buy it from her.
Buy it from Mary.
Mary.
I assume her name is Mary.
I hope so. I will say too that next week we should do a special episode on Mother's Day gifts for your weeb mamas,
Your weeb wife.
your weeb wives and mamas.
Yeah.
Gift guide. What are we gonna get our weeb moms and wives? We will show you next week.
Special edition of
Special
the Otaku podcast.
I don't have a weeb mom, but I have a weeb wife, and that's what matters.
My mom is like the polar opposite of that. She's probably pretty disappointed.
Join the club. I like when my parents come in my office here because I kind of feed a little bit off of the disappointment. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm all right with
Actually,
this.
my in-laws are coming this week, so I will probably, I don't know if he knows how big of a nerd I am. Like, he knows I'm in IT, obviously, and we talk about IT stuff, but as far as like the anime side of things, I don't think he really realizes that side of my nerdiness. And he's like, you know, a lifetime Marine, so I don't feel like he's gonna be like that impressed, you know. But maybe
Like,
I'm being
oh man,
presumptuous.
it's like that I gotta find the picture, but the guy's at the bus stop. There's an old man. He's staring at this kid who has the body pillow of his waifu, and he's like, "I fought war for
Yep.
you."
Yep. Exactly.
That's what's gonna happen.
Hey man, I definitely appreciate it. So
No, that's good. Oh, Jonathan, did you read the new One Piece chapter?
what One Piece chapter?
I'm spoiling it. What's up?
I'm just kidding. Of course I read it.
You sound excited.
That was Sanji. Didn't Sanji like kick Nostro in the face?
And then proceeded to get eaten.
And proceeded to get eaten immediately afterwards. Yes. That
like,
was
wow, Sanji. Oh.
oh, Sanji.
I mean, good for him. That kick looked like it hurt. And
Yeah.
then he just
You got a good one in there. It's hard to tell how effective it was at this point. I really liked the cover art with Nico and the chess pieces.
Man, I pray for her safety.
Oh yeah,
She's
you
not
know
really...
she's got the biggest target on her back. Like, even out of like between her and Luffy, I think it's arguable who has the bigger target on their back. Even though he has the bigger like number, obviously there are other factors involved.
Well, let's think about this for a minute. Nobody can really take on Jay Garcia at this point in that group. I mean, they could do their best, and they are.
Yeah.
But Jinbei and Zoro are both headed that way as quick as possible, and they've been off screen for a while. I think that's a perfect opportunity for Zoro to come in. Now, the reason why I say let's think about this for a minute, is because, and I don't know, maybe someone else has covered this. It's just something I was thinking of. Is Zoro has the Demon King, right? Like, he has Enma. And I wonder how that will mix with slicing one of the five elders, if that has any correlation. Because if you think about it, all the damage done to them has not been effective.
Right.
But Zoro, with his demon sword, right, and the demon spirit residing in it, slicing Jay Garcia, I wonder if that's going to do something, because that energy is different in some way.
That's an interesting thought, because if it feels like they've kind of been putting off Zoro fighting them, then maybe that's the reason. That would make sense.
Because they don't know that Zoro has that sword at this point, or that ability at this point. They just know he's stronger. So
they might not even reveal it this time. I'm curious as to how long this is going to last before they just escape,
or if they're even going to get to.
Yeah. I think Vegapunk that thing with Vegapunk's head was kind of weird.
Oh, brain in a jar.
Found the rest of his head. Oh, I was not expecting that. Because that obviously the cliffhanger in the last chapter was the gurgle sound, and spoiler alert, it was Vegapunk's head.
I'm actually very certain that there wasn't a single person who guessed that.
Yeah, I don't think I looked around and I didn't see anybody guessing that. So good job, Oda. You got us. Then what else happened? There was the fake snail.
Oh, the fake snail
transponder.
Yeah, they couldn't stop it, and it's just going.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie turned into a giant. It's basically just everyone's starting to pair off against enemies, but their enemies are like really strong. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want Bonnie to get hurt. I think I mentioned last time. I don't want. She's the only one that can really command the pacifistas. Don't want to. I mean, they all kind of got sliced up, but there's the other. What are they called?
The Seraphim.
Seraphim. I always forget the name of them because I'm always thinking pacifista, but they're not all pacifistas. Those are just Kuma bears.
If you think about it, like, let's say Bonnie doesn't join the crew and she's just like, I'm going to start my own crew again. And her crew happens to be the 7 warlords of the sea, Seraphim, and a legion of pacifistas and her dad.
To be sick.
She would have the strongest crew at that point, probably. Maybe not the strongest, but her crew would be unbeatable. Like, if she just basically is like, okay, everyone, let's go. And then especially if she took some of the Vegapunks with her, like, that'd be pretty gnarly crew right there.
You know what? I think you called it. I think what's gonna happen. I think she's gonna have the Seraphim crew, the Seraphim warlord crew.
She probably takes Dusty with her too. It's like, hey, come on
along,
everybody, let's go.
Everybody,
get on the boat.
I do want to throw out some additional information about another manga that you're probably not reading right now, but it's getting quite exciting, so I want to mention it. So spoilers for JJK, because you know Yuji Itadori, and he's fighting Sukuna along with a bunch of other sorcerers, and they have found out that he is Sukuna's basically like Yuji's uncle. He's like his soul uncle. And it's kind of confusing as to how that works, but long story short, Sukuna is actually a twin. So he was a twin, and in the womb he ate his brother, so that the soul of his brother was able to basically go on and be used by what's his name? I'm like butchering this, but Kenjaku was able to take his soul and use it to give birth to Yuji. To a sense. So like it was because Kenjaku had it and he took over Yuji's mom, and then they had a kid. That's how it kind of like made that relation to Sukuna. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So there was Sukuna. He had a twin. Somehow Kenjaku was able to take that twin's other soul and take over Yuji's mom's body with it and have a kid, and that kid was Yuji. So he has a lot of Sukuna's abilities. So he's not like as strong as Sukuna yet, but he has the potential to be. So that kind of reveals a lot of why he's been able to, one, be a vessel for Sukuna, and then stand up to him in a fight as effectively as he has. So pretty cool stuff there.
It explains his outrageous fortitude and strength.
Yeah, he's just crazy strong, and it never really made sense why until now. There's that. But more importantly, did you watch Kaiju number 8?
I'll be 100% honest, I did not. I failed you.
Curses.
But it's okay.
Curses,
I will watch
curses, and more
this
curses.
week. But you know what? If it makes you feel any better, like, I don't have an excuse because I completely forgot.
If it makes you feel better.
What?
Yes, somehow.
I do not know why I didn't remember. You know what? I did start a new anime.
You started another one? Oh my gosh, Daniel.
I forgot. I'm so used to just waiting for things to come out.
I know when you go on Crunchyroll, it's like it has a countdown. It's right in your face.
You know what's right in my face this past week though? It wasn't Kaiju number 8 anymore. It was Slime.
Slime was in your face?
Yeah, Slime was all in my face.
You know what was in my face? Daniel's mom. Oh, it's been a while since we did that. Welcome. Anyway.
On that note, I'll repent.
You caught up on that time you got reincarnated as a slime?
No.
Or where are you at?
I think I just finished the second season on that show, but I started The Daily Life of the Immortal King.
Okay.
It's a good one so far.
Wait, which one was that?
It's a donghua.
Oh.
It's about the kid. It kind of feels like Psyche in a way. It's about a guy who's outrageously strong, who's trying to hide his abilities. And like he's doing everything in his power to suppress his powers so that he can be normal. It's kind of like Eminence and Shadow meets Psyche.
So him having the powers is causing him a lot of problems.
Yeah, just because his powers like don't have a limit. So if he does something on like accidentally, he could destroy the world. And so like
he's
he has to wear all
slicing
these
some bread or tomato on his breadboard. It's like, shing! Oh no!
He cuts a hole in
sliced down to the core of the earth, and now it's volcanoes are erupting.
That's basically it, because they have a thing too where they put all these power dampeners on him, like a ton, and he's like trying to eat ramen out of his bowl, and he's like trying so hard to suppress it, and he puts the bowl down and it's still just cracking just from like eating. So
that's funny. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He's just, so far there hasn't really been a plot. It's just kind of been set up the world and kind of have fun with it a bit. But
so I've been watching Konosuba, of course. I'm liking the direction it's going. I mean, that's the thing about the show, is that the direction it's going doesn't really matter that much. It's funny and it does have direction. So he kind of got like kidnapped by the princess because she wants to hear his stories. And of course she has like a night guard. And Kazuma doesn't know manners or proper etiquette, especially to be around a princess. So he's constantly getting harassed beat up by the knight because he's not being proper with the princess, and he's telling her like super inappropriate stories, and the knight's like, what are you telling her? Stop. Like telling her stories about darkness. For whatever reason she was naked. She's like, yeah, tell me more. And the knight is like trying to beat it out of him.
I mean, they kidnapped him, so I mean, what did they expect, right?
Yeah, they're like, you're a guest, and he's like, I got kidnapped. So that's going really well. I'm loving it.
That's good.
Are you reading any mangas?
Nope.
I'm not either, but I mean, well, I am, because I'm reading JJK and One Piece, but I've always been doing that, so I don't really count it. it's like other things besides what I always read. Apparently Black Clover started back up,
Oh,
So
finally!
I might
Goodness gracious!
start reading that.
I've
It's
been like
been such a
waiting.
long time. I think they're releasing it like quarterly now. So yeah, it's those chapters are going to be few and far between, and that's unfortunate. But because I love that show, I know that it's nearing an end, so I'll enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
Just
That'd be
like this
good.
podcast, because we're just about out of time right here. So
You're out of time.
but to remember, next time, as Daniel said, we're going to have a Mother's Day Weeb Waifu special gift thing. So tune in.
We'll talk about how our moms shaped us into the freaky otaku weebs we are today.
They don't even know how they did it, but
How they
it's all
did
their
it.
fault. No. But all right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next one.
涙の色はエメラルドブ宝石みたいに光ってる流れ星を見上げていたあの夜も